Let me ask you, when you were a child, did you ever think to yourself, I know what I'm gonna believe when I grow up? Nothing I do is ever good enough. Ha ha! No, you'd probably never developed that belief consciously and intentionally. That, my friend, was most likely an unconscious interpretation of a past experience which you've had, which has been running in the background as a subconscious program virtually for your entire life. And if you would like to permanently and completely dissolve that program out of your experience, because who the fuck actually wants to keep that, this video is for you. In fact, you will viscerally experience that core fundamental concept, that program, that embodied sense of nothing I do is ever enough, completely vanishing out of your experience starting now. But before we do that, I need to explain to you a very important idea, which is that you have complete free will and control over what it is that you believe. Every single one of your beliefs is a conscious choice. If you choose to hang on to the belief, nothing I do is ever enough, that will continue to haunt you for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years of your life. But right now, you can make a different choice. You can actually just choose, by saying the words out loud, I now decide to disbelieve nothing I do is ever enough. Oh, that's a decision you can make? Yes, it is. Ta-da! Nothing I do is ever enough. I now decide to disbelieve nothing I do is ever enough. Once you've made that free will decision, the information to actually dissolve the belief is inevitably attracted into your awareness. So now I'm going to share with you the most simple and direct method that you've never seen before to permanently liberate yourself from that belief. It starts with a simple question. Is there any part of me that really wants to hold on to that? You might be surprised. You might find that when you ask that question, is there any part of me that wants to hold on to this belief, this identity that nothing I do is ever enough? There's a little part of you that bubbles up into your awareness and goes, me, I want to hold on to that. Don't you know? That belief keeps us safe. That belief is our identity. That's how we motivate ourselves. You can't let that go, because if I don't believe that, then I'm not a victim and I have to take all the responsibility in the world, and I'm scared of that. If a subconscious part of you is gripping onto a belief, you probably won't be able to let it go. The good news is that all you got to do is first welcome this part of you into your awareness. I welcome all parts of me that are holding on to the belief, nothing I do is ever enough. And with your attention on these parts, just ask the curious question, why is it important that we hold on to this belief? And very predictably, it'll say one of 5 things. It keeps us safe. It's familiar and comfortable. It's our identity. It's all I've ever known. It gets me love and connection. It motivates us to improve. It's going to say one of those 5 things. It's predictable every single time. All 5 of these reasons made perfect sense in the moment that you created that belief, that you developed that spell and cast it, ta-da, upon yourself. But notice and bring your attention to this part and notice, is any of that actually true? Does it actually motivate you to believe that nothing you do is ever enough? Or is that kind of anti-motivational? It's kind of anti-motivational, isn't it? Does it actually make you feel safe? Focus your attention on the contracted energy. Nothing I do is ever enough. When you're feeling that contraction in your body, do you actually feel safe? Go ahead and feel the energy of that belief. Nothing I do is ever enough. The heaviness, the contraction, the fear, the pain, the sadness. Is this the epitome of safety?
Or does this kind of make you feel unsafe? Oh. And for that matter, is this belief actually the belief that you want to identify with? You can identify with anything. There are kids in America that identify as fucking wolves in toilet bowls. You can identify with anything. Do you really want to identify as the concept, nothing I do is ever enough?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna identify by punching my face. I am punching my own face.
That doesn't feel good. What if you just said out loud, I now choose to disidentify with the belief that nothing I do is ever enough? What? You mean you can just disidentify with things on command? Yes. None of your identities are permanent. Every single concept that you've ever identified with in your entire life doesn't actually define you. It's not your genuine identity. It comprises a minuscule portion of your overall self-image, your overall self-concept. But it doesn't actually define you because it's not actually your genuine identity. Your genuine identity is a shared identity called consciousness. Words, definitions, concepts, ideas, ideologies, belief systems are all beneath the level of awareness that is your consciousness. These are man-made constructs. When we say nothing I do is ever enough, those are just thoughts. You can identify with them or you can disidentify with them like that. So is that really the thought that you want to identify with? No. Does it really keep you safe? No. Does it really motivate you? No. Does it really get you love and affection? Does it really help you avoid responsibility by believing that? No, it just makes the responsibility worse. It just makes love and connection worse. Is there any reason to hold on to that belief at all? No? Okay, cool. Do you want to know how to let it go? Like, for real, for real? Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's so fucking simple. So here's the magic of the Sovereign Mind Method 2.0. This is an approach that you can use to instantaneously dissolve any limiting belief imaginable on command anytime that you want. I share it with a lot of entrepreneurs in our training programs over at Sovereign Mind. I have a free school community called Freedom Beyond Belief, which you'll be invited down below to join. Check out the first comment. And I teach people how to use this to experience vastly increased levels of freedom, self-awareness, love, inner peace, abundance, productivity, creativity, etc. Here's how it works. The idea, nothing I do is ever enough, is just a string of words, right? It's a bunch of definitions. Nothing, that's a definition. I, that's technically a definition. It's also the source of your identification with belief, because it's not nothing Pope Francis does is ever enough. That's not what you believe. You believe nothing I do is ever enough. So there's your identification. Do is a definition, is definition, ever, definition, enough, definition. And in your mind, you've tied all kinds of thoughts, images, emotions, and sensations up with that belief. Thoughts, images, emotions, and sensations comprise your overall experience of that belief. So when you say these magic words out loud, I undefine all definitions of nothing I do is ever enough. Once more, I undefine all definitions that nothing I do is ever enough. Once more, I undefine all definitions that nothing I do is ever enough. Notice how when you say those words not in your mind, but actually out loud, that the energy of that belief tangibly leaves your body. That's pretty cool, huh? Now you pair that next with disidentification, so you've dissolved all the definitions, you still got your identification with the concept. Nothing I do is ever enough. You can let that go. You can disidentify with any concept on command. Your identity is made up. How? Say these words out loud. I disidentify all identities. Nothing I do is ever enough. I disidentify all identities, that nothing I do is ever enough. I disidentify all identities, that nothing I do is ever enough. For many of you, this shift is slightly more subtle, but you can still tangibly experience it. It's the subtle energy body where the identification lives. It's less so a physical contraction, that's more so your definition. Your definition really comprises your belief. Every single belief that you have is just a string of definitions, and when you undefine all of the definitions that are tied to the belief vanishes. When you disidentify with the actual concept, it creates another level of spaciousness in your awareness, another distancing from the belief. And so we conclude this process with compassion and forgiveness. Now we're going to send compassion and forgiveness from the infinite, eternal I am directly into this concept. Nothing I do is ever enough. In doing so, you're clearing it not just for yourself, but for the entire collective of humanity. It is your compassionate forgiveness that renders the misperception of nothing I do is ever enough completely inert, unreal, never even happened in the first place. So I invite you to repeat after me. I am compassion and forgiveness for all ideas that nothing I do is ever enough. Once more. I am compassion and forgiveness for all ideas that nothing I do is ever enough. Once more. I am compassion and forgiveness for all ideas that nothing I do is ever enough. Feels good, doesn't it? It can be so simple. The practice of finally getting rid of, finally being free from these spells of limitation, these limitation programs that up until now have been binding us into lack and fear and scarcity, causing us to subtly contract and close our hearts, withdraw from connection, self-sabotage, you name it. All of your unwanted experiences are directly caused by what you believe. As Bashar says, it's your definitions that color your day-to-day experience and reinforce the negative thinking, reinforce the negative programming that you've just accepted as a baseline reality up until now. The good news is that you're being offered a choice to re-examine yourself, to really search within and discover what it is that you believe that's truly throttling and constricting and confining your consciousness, the infinite I am, the infinite version of you, into this finite and bounded form. And you're invited to make the choice to simply and lovingly dissolve it, just like you did today. And when you do, when you finally make the free will decision to let those beliefs go, that you're unworthy, that you're not deserving, that you're not enough, not good enough, that you're not capable, that you can't do it, an unfathomable number of beautiful experiences and awakenings will ensue beyond your wildest imagination. And this, my friend, is only the beginning. So search within yourself. Are you ready to be free? Join us down below. I'll see you in the next video. Love you lots. Glad to see you again.